Hey everyone, checking in again. I got stuck because people started knowing some songs and not knowing others, and vice versa, and just kept getting more and more obscure. So I thought, after a few suggestions, instead of having people guess what I was playing, I would actually indicate what I was playing and talk a little bit about why I found it special and maybe some things you didn't know. So let's see how this goes. Maybe it's called Learn About That Tune instead of Name That Tune. So maybe I'll come up with some less cheesy title, but still hope you enjoy this and feel free to tell me about songs that you want to hear about. So the first one, probably my all-time favorite song to play, is Blackbird by Paul McCartney and the Beatles. And what you all might not know is that it is based on a Bach song called Bourrée in E minor. I'll try not to butcher it here. So, story goes, George Harrison and Paul McCartney would kind of compete with each other to see who can play it fastest, and out of that song came a similar different tune of Blackbird. Paul McCartney liked a lot of the way it kind of mixed the changes of the treble and the bass, and from that came the basic structure of the tune. I absolutely love it. It is takes a very long time, and you start with just the basic figuring out where your left hand goes, and then eventually you figure out the right hand. And I don't know how many hours I had to practice, but it's in there and it's stuck now. So Beatles version is amazing. Sarah McLachlan's version is amazing. There's a version by Crosby, Stills, and Nash that is keyed up, and they do amazing harmonies. Definitely check that out. But here's a little bit of Blackbird as Paul McCartney does it. So the next song that is pretty special, I think pretty unique, and I would think almost anybody who follows classic rock will know it, is Over the Hills and Far Away by Led Zeppelin. And they have many amazing songs, but this one's unique because of just the way and the pattern they use what's called hammering on, and as opposed to that's horrible, but they use a technique where you strum the chord, and then you can use your left hand to hammer on. And probably I would say that Over the Hills and Far Away might be one of the two most famous songs with a hammer on, the other being Layla. So there are others that do it, but these two definitely stick out as using that for a sort of a flair and a more rhythmic sound in a different way. I don't know much more about the song, just the second half goes into completely electric, so I won't bother with that, but just some fun changes. Again, tons of practice just to get it down and actually make it sound okay. That's the other thing, it's a lot of coordination of the left hand and the right hand, so we'll give it a try here. So, just a great song. I even love that one part where they have the slide up. And just wonderful what Jimmy Page figured out. So, just love playing that song. Never gets old. Final song is Crash Into Me by Dave Matthews. I have other things Dave Matthews I kind of like playing more, but obviously that's his most famous song. Just some of the stuff he's figured out with these like harmonized chords are just really great. And if you haven't already looked well into Dave Matthews, then it's well worth looking into it. But with Crash Into Me, it's first of all, a lot of practice went into it, even though it's a little more simple than the other two tunes. But teaching my hand to sit in this position, I probably went like this thousands of times trying to learn it. The other thing I think a lot of people don't maybe know is I think it was influenced by a song by Yes called In You and I. Sounds great to me. I'm more... Dave definitely created something amazing, and I just thought it was interesting to see the potential connection between those two songs, because otherwise I've rarely, if ever, heard songs use this C minor seventh that he does, and just way that he incorporates the treble sustain with the bass walk. So here's a little bit of Crash Into Me. I like here he tries to do this sort of frill note. Butcher that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed those. If there's anything more you want to know, definitely there are tons of these videos where people deconstruct these songs on the internet. So hope that was fun. Would love your suggestions. Hopefully I know how to play some of your suggestions, and I will be seeing you next time. Cheers.